Well, my garage is a mess. But this video is going to be about the, let's see, sun. So what we have here is a Maico 700. Well, it's actually a 685. This is what people call a 700 right now. It's a 685. This is a 685 top end. And I have all these other pistons we can compare it against. So this is the actual piston. So typically in the Maicos they have a single ring. It's usually a Dykes ring from a Mallet piston. This is the 685 top end is a 97.94 double ring top end, or a piston. So we can compare this to some, see, okay, so now we also have, so this is a YZ250 piston. See, it's actually, it looks like an oversized. This was his 1.5 millimeter on it. So that is the difference between a Maico 700, 685, and a YZ250. A lot of difference. Okay, so now we're going to go up the next step. So the next step is let's see, what do we have? So we have these other pistons on the wall up here. One of them is a CR500. It's this one. Okay, this one here is a CR500. It's actually bored. It's bored out. Where is it? Anyhow, this is a CR500 piston. Maico CR500 piston. It's not stock. It's been bored out, but so this is Maico 700 piston, CR500 piston, or 685, whatever we call it. And as you can see, it is bigger. And this here, CR500 piston is a little bit bigger than the stock Maico 500 or 490 piston, a little bigger. And this here is a Maico. It's been bored out a little bit, this one, but this is a Maico piston. So that is a Maico piston, and as you can see, the Maico 500 piston is smaller. Than 700. This here is a KTM, a stock KTM 495 piston. It should say 92.25 there. So the Maico 700 piston is obviously bigger than KTM 495 piston. The KTM 495 piston is pretty big. It's a 92. And basically, if you put, it had a short stroke, that's why it was a 495, but a huge piston. If you put this piston in a CR500, it'd be a 580. Because you can see that the CR500 piston is smaller. Yeah. So that's the ordering that we have here. So again, this is the 500 or the 700 685 piston. Now you can see them all lined up in accordance with their size. You can see Maico 685, KTM 495, CR 500, and Maico 500 490. I forget which one this is out of. I think it's out of one of my 83s. So the next thing is we can take a look at the cylinder. So this is my 500. This is a 2004 500, and this is the Maico 685. As you can see how that porting has a line, or has a not line, but has a bridge at the back at the intake. This one has no bridge at the intake. See that? Just straight in. It has the power valve, and the power valve's in there. So, and it says Maico on the side. So this is actually a Maico. It's not a sorry, it's not a yeah, so this is actually a Maico. It's not a Zabel. So this here is the top end for the head for the 500, and this is the head for the 700 or 685. We can take a look at these domes here. You can see the difference in them. Definitely bigger. And you can definitely tell that this does not fit. That does not fit on the 500 top end. So this is a 700. Take out this gasket here, is broken anyways. So, and on this one, I do have. It came with a pressure release, and it did come with this intake manifold and the reeds. You can see the intake manifold does have a crack in it right there. And I do have reeds. Looks like dual stage reeds that are in there. The a little bit different on the front. We can flip it over and take a look underneath. See what it looks like. And as you can see here, we have an extra port here that's not on this bike. And if you remember from a previous video I had this one here, which is a 610, and you can see that it had 2 ports down there, where this one has 1. So it's an old 610. So now they look different. We can measure them. You know, I like to measure it just because, you know, if you don't believe that these are what I say they are, just because it's on video, looks are deceiving. So as you can see, this one here is 86. At the bottom, 86.5. I covered this one here. As you can see, it's 97.7.8, so 97. So, yeah, big difference in these. So anyhow, you can see the difference there. And so again, has a 1 port down there, right below the reeds there. It so this is the 685 Maico 700. Now you may be wondering, well, what is the 700 make? Well, or what's the difference between the 685 and 700? Okay, so this is where we're gonna get into. So Zabel in the early 90s created a Zabel 685, right? And they also had a 620. And most of it, well, actually it was all based on the Maico engines. And Maico had eventually made, they were making 620 engines and eventually made 685 engines. And that's all they made. They made 685. Zabel in the late 90s switched to making a 700. So if you want a true 700, you have to go to Zabel. Now a few years ago, another company in the UK called Maico International was building a Maico 700. They had taken the Maico and they made it to a 700. However, that bike was never released. So the only Maico 700 is actually a 685 that's actually available. Due to issues with copyright and stuff like that with the name, Maico International has been rebranded as Berkeley VLN. I'll put that link up here. So, and they should be releasing their bikes pretty soon. Actually, they just came back, so they're going to be releasing it. But it's not going to be called Maico. It's going to be called Berkeley VLN, and they'll probably, I'm assuming, will have the similar lineup. I don't know what their lineup is yet, though. But if they do, then they would have a 700. But so on the floor over here, this is a early 90s 700 engine, or 685 engine actually. It doesn't have any markings on it. There's not even a VIN, so I've been painted over. But you can tell it's a 90s because it has this. All of the newer ones should all have hydraulic clutch. This one doesn't. So, and I don't actually know whether this is a Zabel engine or if it's a Maico engine. I don't know. But as you can see, it does have that porting there. You see that? So this is an engine that matches that cylinder. And so I'm assuming that this engine here goes with that cylinder. So this probably is a Maico engine. I don't know what the Zabel porting looks like to know if it's the same. But this is what the Maico has. As you can see here, that porting for the Maico is right there. So this is probably a Maico 685 bottom end. So it doesn't have all of the, I don't have the whole stuff for it. It's a little rusted, some of it. You know, the clutch basket. Yeah, that's some wear. I'd have to take apart the gears and see how this engine, it turns over though. But as you can see here, the difference between the 500 though is it does have 6 clutch bolts versus 5. This is a thicker clutch basket too. I don't have the side case for this. I don't have the top end for this clutch thing. So I am missing some parts for this to get it running. I need a side case and I need the rest of the clutch for that. But this is a Maico 685 bottom end. Possibly Zabel. Like I said, I don't have any markings on it. But given it has this, and it's probably in the same spot, it probably works with that top end that I have over here. So, and I got it from the same person, by the way. So since I have it from the same person, I'm assuming that this whole thing should just work on that. I can't just put this on top end, obviously, on a 500 because it doesn't have that thing there. I need the crank, and also I need a bigger clutch to handle the power. So it's best to use the full, if I'm going to do anything with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to even put together. But yeah, I got these from Germany. I found them at a decent price. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. Not sure if I'm going to put together. I have, as you can see, other bikes I need to put together. I need to put together this 500 that I have all the parts for. As you have seen in my other videos, I've been putting that together for a while. So I gotta finish it at some point. And then of course, I got this mess here I gotta deal with. I got this 81 490. I got all the parts for it now. You know, got new Owens, got new handlebars, got new seat cover, got new air filter, you know, skid plates, silencer. I got a Duro tank, got new stickers for it. Those are Works Performance shocks. They're pretty good, but check out these. These are official OLED shocks, specially manufactured and tuned for 81 Maico 490. So these will look nice on it. Let's see. So at some point I'll have a video on that. So yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta put the other 500 together. So I really don't have time to mess with this 700 top end. And I've also will be getting a Maico 620 pretty soon, and a Maico 685, a brand new one. So I don't really care to mess with this right now. So you'll probably see those within the next month or so. That's why I have all these new stands. So anyhow, this is the Maico 700 top end.